Hi, good afternoon. I hope you're well. You join me this afternoon targeting perch at Makins Fisheries, just outside Wolvie. I've got a couple of rods out already, but I'll talk you through the gear that I'm using, the bait, etc. a little bit later on. I was here a few weeks ago targeting the perch. There are some big perch in these commercial fisheries these days, especially Makins Fisheries. I know there's fish over £4, and I've been lucky enough to have them over £3 in the past, up to £3.6. So I was here last, as I say, a couple of weeks ago. I had a few small perch, but I had a lovely common carp, just low double figures. So I'll probably show that footage after this intro, if you like. But it was a lovely carp. As I say, I think it was about £12 or so, but beautiful condition in its winter colours. So I'll show you that. I'll show you that footage after the intro, as I say. But the conditions today look really good. There's actually a few carp rolling around. It's sort of coming up to end of Jan now. It is quite mild, overcast. As I say, it's good conditions. Haven't really got much of an excuse, I don't think, today. So fingers crossed we'll get a few. As I say, I think a few carp may come along today. I've seen a few rolling around, but I'll crack on, and I'll show you the tackle and techniques and everything shortly. Cheers. Hi, good afternoon. You join me doing something a little bit different today. I'm at my local commercial fishery, Makins Fishery, just near Wolvie. Motorway in the background, which you can probably hear. It's a bit of a blustery day, and I've come down today to target roach and perch. Over the years I've had some nice perch up to just over £3. I've had roach over £2 as well. I've had chub over £5. So yeah, there's some nice fish to be had from the commercials. I tend to avoid coming in the summer, and I tend to avoid the carp as well. It's not really my cup of tea. So I've come down on this winter's day, just one of the fishermen on the lake, and there's me saying I'm trying to avoid the carp, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm into now. This is on feeder fished worm, so I've got a maggot feeder with worm on the hook. I've got a 9-foot light feeder rod and £5 line. So as I say, I'm pretty sure this is a carp. Could be a barbel, I suppose. There are some stocked in here. But yeah, it's certainly pulling hard. I've had a couple of small roach already, and one small perch, and I was just setting up the float rod to try float fish worm, and this has come along. Right, let's see what we've got. Oh, it's a lovely common. got to be about £8 I would think, if not a bit more. Lovely. Right, let's get him in. Yes, great stuff. That's a nice fish. Oh, lovely colours in the winter colours there. Right, let's get it weighed. I think it's actually double figures, to be honest. It's a lovely fish. There's my little hook just there. Perfect. Give it a quick weigh in the net. Scales are 0 to £1.5 pounds. There you go. So that's 11 3/4. That's a lovely fish on a little light feeder rod. And what a beautiful fish it is too. Look at that. That is a beauty. Lovely colours. Okay, let's get this fish back. It's had a little rest. It's lively enough. So that's 11 3/4 pound common carp. Really good condition. Right, let's slip the net under it and let it go. Brilliant. Great fish. So this is the spot I'm fishing today. Got a little robin there that keeps me company. But yeah, this is the spot I'm fishing, and as you can see, I've got a couple of rods out already, fished out towards the island. There's also a lovely feature there with the I think that's some sort of well, it's something tied up anyway, but I think it's holds vegetation in the summer. Gives the fish a bit of privacy perhaps. So this is the spot. As I say, I've got a couple of baits towards the island, and very quiet today. Not too windy, and yeah, fingers crossed for a few. So the gear I'm using today is my sort of standard feeder, light feeder setup if you like. I've got a Shimano reel, fixable reel with 5-pound line, and then I'm using my Rovex 9-foot feeder rod. That then comes down to, I've got a ground bait feeder on there. It's quite a light one really, 20 grams I think. And then I've got a feeder boom to a bead which just protects the swivel. And then my hook link, I've just got a bit of tube in there just to prevent tangles. And I've got a size 14 hook. And it did have a worm on there, but that's come off. But I've got a barbless 14, and I'm just putting a worm on there tipped with a maggot. So the bait I'm using, I'm trying ground bait today actually, not feeding too much, but just in the feeder. But this is Sonia Bait's worm fish meal ground bait. Apparently it's got dehydrated worm in it, so that looks quite good. And then I've got some prawns, worms, and then the ground bait mix. I've just you can see the ground bait mix there, which looks quite good. And I've just got some chopped worms in there, and a handful of maggots as well, just to mix it up. So I'm just popping on a worm, tipping a maggot just to help it stay on the hook, and that's the bait. And then just put some little gentle squeeze to put some bait in the feeder. And as I say, I'm just casting that towards the island. So that's the setup. The other rod is exactly the same, but I've got a prawn on the hook there, and I've got a 4-pound hook link and a size 10 barbless hook on the other rod. So yeah, that's the setup. Let's see how we get on. Okay, into the first fish. Doesn't feel like a perch to me. No doubt it's a small carp. So this was on the ground bait feeder with worm, and as I say, I think it's likely to be a carp. Yeah, it's a little carp. There's actually a few carp moving around, so I don't suppose it's much of a surprise. There we go. Nice little carp. Not the intended species, but some good action on a relatively cold January day. Let's have a quick look at it. Okay, there we have it. First fish of the session. Little carp, probably about 4 pound maybe. It's got a touch of koi about it. But yeah, some good action. Let's get it back. There it goes. Brilliant. Okay, we're into second fish now, and yeah, I think it's another carp. I've had a couple of touches on the right hand rod on the prawn, which perhaps is more likely to get the perch, but nothing yet. But as I say, yeah, this is the second fish. I've got a feeling it's a carp. And maybe not a bad one at that. I'm not sure if you saw the bite, but it was what we call a 3-foot twitch. Tip just went boom, off it went. So yeah, let's see what we got. Off he goes. I'm only on £4 hook link, so I'm going to take it a little bit steady. Oh yeah, lovely mirror. Right, I tell you what, I might just walk round here. Or maybe not. Okay, there we go. Nice mirror. Come on. Yeah. Brilliant. Right, let's have a look at it. Okay, there we go. Lovely mirror carp. Beautiful condition, lovely scales. So probably £5 maybe. Right, let's get it back. Right, I couldn't get that, put that back without having a photo. It's a lovely, not the biggest carp obviously, but beautiful condition, lovely scales on it. Good fight as well. It's ready to go. Other way, that's it. Brilliant. Let's try and get another one. Funny looking perch though. Okay, into another fish. Small one, this one. So it's probably not a carp. If it is a perch, it's not a huge one. What is it? Oh, it's a roach. Lovely roach. Again, not the intended quarry, but lovely fish. Okay, we've got a fish on. I was just literally packing up. You've got to be off here quite early, to be honest. So you don't get the benefit of fishing that first hour into dark. But yeah, so I've got a fish on here. And I don't think it's a carp. And I'm feeling a bit hopeful that it's a perch, but it isn't. It's a bream. Oh dear. Best perch video ever. tell you what, if it was a perch, it would have been a nice one. Anyway, little bream. Let's have a look at it. Okay, there we go. Bream of perhaps a couple of pounds, taking on the worm. Let's get it back. Hi, good afternoon, I hope you're well. Back at the car now, end of the session. Just managed the 2 carp and a bream and a roach, so not too bad for a sort of short, probably what, 3-hour session, something like that, but not great considering I was hoping to get a perch or 2. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and the few fish that I caught today, and obviously the common that I caught a few weeks ago, which as I say I've incorporated into the video. So yeah, I think I'll be back again, obviously not one to be beaten, so the perch are still here, I'm sure they are, so I'll be back and I'll be trying again, so hopefully I'll see you next time. Cheers.